Do you remember them? The charming and powerful spies of the Avengers, 1961, once captivated the entire world. But behind that dazzling spotlight were lives just as dramatic as the series itself. Some changed so much they became unrecognizable. Some passed away suddenly on set, and others slipped quietly from this world without anyone knowing. Get ready, because what you're about to hear will leave you both astonished and deeply moved. Patrick Macnee as John Steed. Patrick Macnee was 39 years old when he embodied John Steed, the gentleman spy with the bowler hat and elegant umbrella, in The Avengers in 1961. The role instantly made him a symbol of British sophistication, a man both refined and mysterious who enchanted audiences around the world. Yet behind that perfect image was a life filled with loneliness and silent wounds. Patrick was born on February 6, 1922, in London, England. He once believed marriage would bring him peace, but fate had other plans. His 3 marriages, to Barbara Douglas, Catherine Woodville, and Baba Majos de Nagizenye, were all marked by separation. The first 2 ended quietly and regretfully, strained by distance, work, and emotional detachment. Only with Baba did he finally find calm, until her passing in 2007 left him alone in an empty house in California. His body endured many hardships. Patrick suffered severe bronchitis and nearly lost his life while serving in the Royal Navy. Later, he battled depression, alcohol, and tobacco, perhaps trying to silence the painful memories of war and fame. On June 25, 2015, Patrick Macnee passed away in Rancho Mirage, California, at the age of 93. His net worth at the time was estimated at around $3 million USD, but the greatest legacy he left behind was the timeless image of John Steed, Honor Blackman as Kathy Gale. At 37 years old, Honor Blackman joined The Avengers, 1962, as Kathy Gale, a woman who was strong, cool-headed, yet irresistibly alluring. She was not just John Steed's partner, but a symbol of female intelligence and strength on television. The role turned her into a legend, though it also brought hidden sorrow into her personal life. Honor was born on August 22, 1925, in Plaistow, London. Despite her brilliant career, she never found lasting happiness in love. Her 2 marriages, to Walter Sankey and actor Maurice Kaufman, both ended in separation. She and Kaufman adopted 2 children and even starred together in the film Fright, but their relationship fell apart due to work and distance. After those heartbreaks, she chose to live alone. Age came gracefully for her. She remained sharp-minded and serene. She spent her days enjoying football, traveling, and the quiet comfort of her small home in Islesboro, Maine. Sadly, on April 5, 2020, Honor Blackman passed away at her home in Lewes, East Sussex, at the age of 94. Her net worth at the time was estimated at $5 million USD, a modest figure compared to the immense cultural legacy she left behind in cinema. Diana Rigg as Emma Peel. In 1965, Diana Rigg was just 27 years old when she took on the role of Emma Peel, an intelligent, cool, and captivating woman in The Avengers. Her character completely redefined the image of the female spy on television, enchanting audiences worldwide with her strength and charm. For Diana, that role was the turning point that made her an international star, yet behind the glamour lay a life filled with personal pain. Diana was born on July 20, 1938, in Doncaster, England. In love, she was not as fortunate as she was on stage. During the 1960s, she lived with director Philip Saville for 8 years, but refused to marry him because he was already married, and she didn't want to become the other woman. Her first marriage to painter Menachem Geffen ended quickly, as he struggled with being known as Mr. Diana Rigg. Her second marriage to producer Archie Sterling, the father of her daughter, actress Rachel Sterling, also ended bitterly after his affair. These heartbreaks made her lose faith in marriage, though she never stopped believing in love. Lung cancer became her final battle. A lifelong smoker since age 18, consuming about 20 cigarettes a day, Diana was diagnosed with the disease in March 2020. Still, she kept her sense of humor, saying, "God isn't ready for me yet." In her final weeks, she recorded a message advocating for the legalization of the right to die with dignity. On September 10, 2020, Diana Rigg passed away at her daughter's home in London, aged 82. She left this world surrounded by family, mourned deeply by fans everywhere. Her net worth at the time was estimated at around $10 million, but far more valuable was the artistic legacy and inner strength she left behind for the world. Roy Kinnear as Benedict Napoleon Hickey. Roy Kinnear was 31 years old when he appeared in The Avengers in 1965 as Benedict Napoleon Hickey, a character defined by quick wit, mischief, and natural charm. With his round, kind face and versatile acting style, he quickly became one of Britain's most recognizable television personalities. Yet behind his humor lay a life marked by both warmth and tragedy. Roy was born on January 8, 1934, in Wigan, England. He married actress Carmel Cryan in 1970, and together they had 3 children, Karina, Kirsty, and Rory Kinnear, who would later become a celebrated actor himself. Their marriage was filled with love, but also shadowed by heartbreak. Their eldest daughter, Karina, was born with quadriplegic cerebral palsy and severe learning disabilities. Roy and Carmel devoted themselves entirely to her care, turning their home into a sanctuary of compassion and resilience. In 1988, tragedy struck. While filming The Return of the Musketeers in Toledo, Spain, a horrific accident occurred. During a horseback scene, Roy fell violently, fracturing his pelvis and suffering massive internal bleeding. He was rushed to Ruber International Hospital in Madrid but did not survive, passing away on September 20, 1988, at the age of 54. His sudden death shocked the British film industry. The family later sued the production company and received £650,000 in compensation, a belated acknowledgement of an accident that should never have happened. Roy was laid to rest at East Sheen Cemetery in London, where his daughter Karina, who passed away in 2020 from COVID-19, was later buried beside him. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $2 million, but what he truly left behind was far greater: laughter, kindness, and the enduring memory of a man who loved his craft until his very last moment. Linda Thorson as Tara King. Linda Thorson was only 21 years old when she took on the role of Tara King, Emma Peel's successor, young, vibrant, and full of energy, in The Avengers in 1968. Despite the immense pressure of replacing a legend, Linda made her mark with wit, charm, and playfulness, helping the series remain beloved by fans. Linda was born on June 18, 1947, in Toronto, Canada. Her romantic life, however, was far less smooth than her television success. 4 marriages, to Barry Berg-Thorson, Cyril Jeffrey Smith Jr., Bill Boggs, and Gavin Mitchell, all ended in divorce. Each separation left its quiet scars, reflecting the challenges of a woman living her life under the spotlight. Her son, Trevor Boggs, remained her greatest source of comfort through all the turbulence. Through many ups and downs, Linda continued her dedication to the arts. She once shared that the stage was where she rediscovered herself after each heartbreak. Though no longer young, she still appeared in television projects and on Broadway, inspiring younger generations with her passion and vitality. In later life, Linda chose a slower pace, focusing on family and meditation as her way of keeping peace after years of storms. Today, Linda Thorson is 78 years old. She remains healthy and occasionally attends the Avengers tribute events, where fans still fondly call her Tara King. Her net worth is estimated at around $3 million, accumulated over a career spanning more than half a century in television and theater. Hendry as Dr. David Keel. At 30 years old, Ian Hendry took on the role of Dr. David Keel in the first season of The Avengers in 1961. His character, a kind-hearted doctor drawn into the criminal underworld after his fiancée's death, gave the series an uncommon emotional depth. Ian was the one who laid the foundation for the Avengers' later success, yet the true tragedy unfolded not on screen, but in his own turbulent life. Ian was born on January 13, 1931, in Ipswich, England. His love life was full of storms and sadness. His first marriage to Phyllis Joanna Bell ended after 7 years. His second, to actress Janet Monroe, whom he loved deeply, was the most chaotic period of his life. They had 2 daughters together, but their home life grew strained, and they divorced in 1971. Only a year later, Janet died of myocarditis, leaving Ian devastated. He fell into a spiral of alcoholism, loneliness, and guilt that consumed him and nearly erased the man he once was. His final marriage, to Sandra Jones in 1975, was more stable, but by then his health had already deteriorated. Alcohol had become his quietest and cruelest companion. The heavy dependence left him bankrupt by 1978, his body failing and his fame fading. Though he tried repeatedly to quit drinking, he could never break free from the addiction that had taken root. By the end of his life, his body simply could not endure anymore. On December 24, 1984, Ian Hendry died in London from a stomach hemorrhage, aged 53. His ashes were placed at Golders Green Crematorium. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at about $1 million, but his true legacy was the image of a gifted, lonely, and tragic man, forever remembered as Dr. David Keel in The Avengers, Patrick Newell as Mother. In 1968, Patrick Newell joined The Avengers as Mother, the witty, clever commander who always appeared in the most unexpected situations when he was just 36 years old. With his calm demeanor, kind face, and subtle humor, he quickly won audiences' affection and became an essential part of the show's later years. Patrick was born on March 27, 1932, in Hadley, Suffolk, England. He married Dorina House in 1959 and remained devoted to her until his death, raising 2 children together. Unlike many of his peers, his marriage was stable, but life was far from easy. Patrick struggled with professional pressure and his own physique. He once gained weight for a role, then worked hard to slim down again, yet his health never fully recovered. In his final years, Patrick suffered from severe heart problems. His body weakened, but he kept working, smiling, and bringing warmth to the screen. Friends said he always hid his illness, not wanting anyone to worry, simply saying, "Everything's fine." It was the kind of phrase spoken by someone long accustomed to enduring in silence. On July 22, 1988, Patrick Newell passed away from a heart attack in Essex, aged 56. His sudden death shocked colleagues and fans alike. His net worth at the time was estimated at around $2 million, the result of a lifetime of dedication to British television. Ingrid Hafner as Carol Wilson. At 25 years old, Ingrid Hafner played Carol Wilson, a devoted, intelligent, and gentle nurse working alongside Dr. David Keel in The Avengers in 1961. Though she appeared only in the early episodes, she left a distinct impression through her warmth and grace, becoming the very first female face to usher in the era of the Avengers' leading ladies. But in real life, Ingrid's world was much quieter and carried more sadness than glamour. Ingrid was born on November 13, 1936, in London, England. She married actor Richard Clothier, and together they had 2 sons, Ben and William. Their marriage was peaceful and rarely mentioned in the press, largely because Ingrid chose a private life away from the noise of the entertainment world. When not in front of the camera, she devoted most of her time to her family, turning down major opportunities to raise her children. That selflessness earned her admiration, but it also meant her career gradually faded into the background. In her final years, Ingrid battled amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, a cruel neurological disease that slowly paralyzes the body while keeping the mind fully aware. She knew she could not win the fight, but remained calm, smiling to her husband and sons in every remaining moment. Each passing day became a test of endurance and courage, and it was that quiet strength that moved everyone around her deeply. Ingrid Hafner passed away on May 20th, 1994, in Berkshire, at the age of 57. Her funeral was held privately, attended only by her husband and 2 sons. Her net worth at the time was around $800,000, a modest amount compared to the love and memories she left behind for British television audiences. Julie Stevens as Venus Smith. In 1962, Julie Stevens was 26 years old when she appeared in The Avengers as Venus Smith, a young, cheerful, and emotional singer who brought a unique charm to the series. Her character was a breath of fresh air amidst the show's suspenseful cases, and Julie's singing voice became one of the early highlights of the program. Yet behind that voice was a life marked by challenges, loneliness, and, eventually, illness. Julie was born on December 20th, 1936, in Prestwich, England. She married twice, first to actor John White, her colleague on Play School, but their marriage ended in 1975 after years of career tension and the pressures of fame. Her second marriage, to director Michael Hucks, lasted 2 decades before also coming to an end. Still, Julie always said her love for the stage and music helped her move forward after every heartbreak. Her 2 children remained her greatest pride throughout her often turbulent life. In her later years, Julie battled Parkinson's disease, the silent enemy that gradually robbed her of movement and speech. Once known for her radiant voice, she grew physically weaker but maintained her joyful spirit and gratitude toward her audience. Friends said she never complained, only whispering, "I've had a full life." Those words touched everyone who had ever met her. Julie Stevens passed away on December 5th, 2024 in England at the age of 87, just weeks before her 88th birthday. Her net worth at the time was estimated at $1.5 million, most of it earned from a television career that spanned decades. Douglas Muir as 110. At 57 years old, Douglas Muir played 110, the calm, wise senior officer who often appeared to assign missions to John Steed and Dr. Keel in The Avengers in 1961. Though not a main character, he brought an aura of authority and the classic composure of a British spy, leaving viewers with lasting memories of his deep voice and serious gaze. Douglas was born on November 5, 1904, in Greenwich, London. He married actress Miriam Adams in 1931, and they had a daughter named Gillian. Their marriage was considered peaceful and was rarely mentioned in the press, as Douglas was deeply private and devoted most of his life to his craft. He appeared consistently on stage and British television, earning respect from colleagues for his professionalism and dedication. In his later years, Douglas struggled with fatigue and declining health due to age, yet he continued working into the late 1960s. Colleagues recalled that he always arrived on set on time, even when suffering from chronic pain. His career ended sooner than fans hoped, leaving a significant void in British television during that era. On November 30th, 1966, Douglas Muir passed away at Brompton Hospital in Chelsea, London, at the age of 62, likely from natural causes. He departed quietly, leaving behind his devoted wife and only daughter. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $500,000, mostly accumulated from his steady work in television supporting roles. Edwin Richfield as Alex. Edwin Richfield was 40 years old when he appeared in The Avengers in 1961 as Alex, a mysterious supporting character whose calm intelligence and sharp presence made a strong impression. Through this role, he established himself as one of the most memorable faces in British spy dramas of the 1960s, bringing emotional depth to every scene he was in. Edwin was born on September 11, 1921, in London. He married actress Jan Holden in 1952 after performing together in the play The Blue Lamp. They had 3 children, twin daughters and a son. Tragedy struck when one of the twin girls died from a brain tumor, leaving a wound that never healed in Edwin's heart. The immense grief, combined with work stress, ultimately led to the breakdown of his marriage in 1973. Though divorced, Edwin remained deeply affectionate toward his family and often spoke of Jan with gratitude. In his final years, fate turned cruel once again. Edwin was diagnosed with a brain tumor, the same illness that had taken his daughter years earlier. The long battle with pain weakened him, but he continued to work and appear on set until his body could no longer endure. On August 2nd, 1990, Edwin Richfield passed away in Shrewsbury at the age of 68. His net worth at the time of his death was estimated at around $1 million USD, earned primarily from his decades of work in television and film. Robert James as Ronnie Vance. In 1961, Robert James appeared in The Avengers as Ronnie Vance, a supporting character portrayed with solemnity and emotional depth when he was 37 years old. He left a strong impression through his calm demeanor, composure, and intelligent gaze, hallmarks of an experienced actor. Robert's presence in the early episodes helped shape the signature tone of this classic British detective series. Robert was born on March 28, 1924, in Paisley, Scotland. Before becoming an actor, he trained to be a lawyer, but his passion for the stage eventually drew him into the arts. He married actress Mona Bruce, and the two remained devoted to each other throughout their lives, sharing not only a home, but a deep love for performing. Their marriage was steady and peaceful, untouched by the turbulence that often surrounded the entertainment world. They had one child, who became their pride and greatest source of joy. In his later years, Robert faced the slow and painful decline of Alzheimer's disease. For his family, it was a long, quiet heartbreak, watching the man they loved gradually fade away in memory. Mona Bruce stayed faithfully by his side, caring for him through every stage of his illness. Her loyalty and tenderness deeply moved those who knew them, a testament to a love that endured beyond time and suffering. On July 31, 2004, Robert James passed away in Middlesex at the age of 80 after years of battling Alzheimer's. His net worth at the time was estimated at around $800,000, earned from a television and stage career that spanned more than 4 decades. Judy Parfitt as Brenda Patterson. In 1965, Judy Parfitt was 30 years old when she appeared in The Avengers as Brenda Patterson, an intelligent, cold, and proud woman who left a strong impression on viewers despite her brief appearance. Her sharp voice and icy gaze made her one of the most memorable faces of the series, marking the beginning of her long and distinguished career in British film and television. Judy was born on November 7, 1935, in Sheffield, South Yorkshire. She married actor Tony Steedman in 1963, and they remained together until his death in 2001. The couple built a peaceful home, raised one son, and shared a deep passion for their craft. Their marriage was free of scandal, a partnership rooted in understanding and respect. Tony's passing after nearly 4 decades together left a painful void in Judy's heart, yet she continued to move forward with quiet strength, much like the resilient characters she so often portrayed. After her husband's death, Judy chose a quieter life, channeling her energy into acting. She continued to deliver emotionally rich performances in Dolores Claiborne, Ever After, and most notably as Sister Monica Joan in Call the Midwife, the wise but forgetful nun who touched millions of hearts. Even in her later years, Judy remained dedicated to her work, seeing every role as a way to give meaning to her life. Today, Judy Parfitt is 90 years old. She still lives in England, occasionally appearing at tributes for veteran actors and continuing her role in Call the Midwife whenever her health allows. Her net worth is estimated at around $4 million USD, much of it earned through decades of acclaimed performances on stage and screen. These stories remind us, behind every spotlight, there is always a price. Were you surprised by what happened to them? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next untold secrets of Hollywood.